and welcome to Youth in Sports, where every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. we feature special guests from near and far. The program is sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, providing certified athletic trainers to more than 30 area high schools and colleges. First State Orthopedics, the team taking care of Delaware with a commitment to excellence. And Wilmington University, where Youth in Sports is produced by the College of Technology's students and faculty. And now, from the studio at President Jack Barcelona's Wilmington University, your hosts for Youth in Sports, ALSSM Mr. Sports Medicine 2012, Dr. Michael Axe, UD and St. Elizabeth's own Dr. Joseph Strait, and co-founder of Youth in Sports, Mr. Walter Laudine.
Good evening, welcome to Youth in Sports. I'm Walter Laudine, and we're at beautiful Wilmington University. And who are you?
Oh, I think today I'm Dr. Joseph Strait. I'm the team physician at Goldey-Beacom and one of the sports medicine docs over at First State Orthopedics.
Dr. Michael Axe. I'm Dr. Strait's backup at Goldey-Beacom.
That doesn't happen often.
And I'm the lead guy at Wilmington University. And what we're going to talk about today is how great the conference is. So this is the first time, to our knowledge, in all these years that we've had Goldie on the show. And we thought, Dr. Strait said, "What's going on?" And Walter said, "Goldie who?"
No, I didn't say it. In fact, we've been on 22 years, and we did have some Goldey-Beaconites, or whatever you call it,
Lightning.
on the show.
Lightning.
Lightning. We had them on the show years ago, and it's a great school, and we're going to talk a little bit.
It's a hard school.
Talk a little bit about it
Everybody
today.
knows it as a business school, and you know,
I
sports
do.
are getting
Yeah, sports are getting.
being able to compete.
In fact, we had the basketball team on when they started getting good. When did you start a basketball team? Let's introduce our guests.
Oh, absolutely.
First on our right, we have Monica Sergine. I can't get names right. Next to her is Jen Carlton. That was good. And next to her is Chuck Hammond.
All right, so Monica is the team trainer. Jen has a number of roles, but she's the women's basketball coach. She's also on the compliance officer.
Yeah, what is a compliance officer?
We deal with the rules and regulations.
Oh,
the
right,
NCAA,
right.
Silly. Okay,
All the
been
fun
through-
stuff.
Kind of the comptroller.
I guess.
And
We
Chuck
like
is
to
the
say.
athletic director and the men's basketball coach.
When did you start basketball, Chuck? At Goldey?
At Goldey-Beacom, this is my 10th season. So.
But when was basketball started?
Oh, we have a unique history. We were a two-year college.
Right,
And
right.
we had teams back in the 50s and 60s. Had Boots Reed, legendary coach, really put us on the map. And we had a storied history early on, discontinued sports, and then in 1998 we started basketball. Yes.
Right.
When it came back.
That's when I had him on the show.
So where have you been? Where did you start? How did you get here as the head basketball coach and athletic director at Goldey?
I started at Philadelphia University as a student and then progressed into an assistant coach after I had graduated. And I was there under Hall of Fame coach, legendary Herb McGee. He's been at Philadelphia University for over 45 years, has over 800 victories. I think he's the NCAA leader.
Was that originally Philadelphia Textile?
Philadelphia Textile. That when I graduated, it was
Big
Philadelphia.
Five basketball for you people out
Yeah, I
there
know
with gray hair. Or no hair.
I know somebody that played there. That was a big-time basketball school in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It was. They were on. You had the pleasure of watching on Channel 29. They covered Big Five basketball, and
Right.
you could watch every time there was a game. I watched time in and time out, just the names that were there.
Yeah, it was a great experience. Learned so much from Coach McGee. Last year he was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame, and went up there, watched the whole ceremony. It was really great. And you know, they're in our conference, so we play them twice a year also now. So it's a great little thing we have going back and forth. There's also another coach who's an alumni from Philadelphia Textile, and he's coaching the conference. So.
You know what I wonder, Chuck, is when you take a basketball coach that's been around 45 years, okay? First of all, what makes him a great coach? And second of all, how does a coach transform from 40 to the athlete of 40 years ago to the athlete of today?
I think if you ask them, that's one of the biggest changes is just making sure that you can adjust to
Absolutely.
you know, the student athletes. Make sure that student athletes aren't the same today as they were 45 years ago, and making that adjustment. You know, he's really young at heart. He's very energetic. He's very involved, and I think what makes him so successful is he just gives everything he has, to his team. All his players, all his student athletes always know that they can go to him for anything, and he cares for them outside basketball, and he's also a great teacher.
How did he learn to adjust to the changes in music? Players like to play to warm up for the games.
He tries not to come out for that part.
Show up at tip-off.
I remember Jim Valvano, one of his first coaching jobs was at Bucknell. In fact, it was his first coaching job before he went to Ithaca. And he would come out and do pregame with them in Bucknell orange and blue, and then go back in and change into his regular clothes. We all know he was a little different, but...
Fun fact for you, I got a baseball scholarship to Ithaca.
You did?
I did.
Yeah, you told me that.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
And what position was that for?
Second base.
That was his way out of the New York Bronx.
But instead I went to the University of Racetracks.
There you go. Speaking of racetracks, let's talk to Jen. The compliance officer. You're not allowed to go to Delaware Park.
Just being over at Goldie, I know a lot about where you've come from. It sounds like you played basketball at Caldwell University.
Mm-hmm.
You ended up coaching there, and you've now made your way over to Goldey-Beacom. How's that transition been?
It's been great. I mean, I've been in the CACC since 1999 as a player. I started my coaching career in 2003 as an assistant coach at Caldwell. Was there for 3 years. Ended up at Holy Family University as an assistant coach for 1 year. We were very successful there. And then was given the opportunity to be the head coach here at Goldey-Beacom, and very excited, obviously, and it was such a great opportunity. And
Great success you've had. I mean, I think last year was the winningest season.
yeah, we
Ever?
broke the school record for most wins in a season.
Oh, congratulations.
Fell a little bit short of our ultimate goal of winning the championship, but
Because you were a
hopefully-
short one player.
Yeah, we were. We were.
Yeah,
you
you're-
fixing it all up.
You're from New Jersey
Yes, I'm
originally?
from New Jersey. Yep.
So you're pretty close in the tri-state area?
Yep. Jersey girl through and through.
Are you still live in Jersey or
No, I'm
in Delaware?
in Delaware now. Yes. Yes.
So what's the toughest part of your job? You hold assistant athletic director, women's basketball coach, compliance officer.
And other things.
There's a whole
A
bunch
lot
of other things.
Yes. I think the toughest part is balancing them in terms of being there for each and every student athlete, not just my women's basketball team, and not just what sports are in session right at that time, but making sure that you're available to everybody and at all times, and just being there and being able to switch roles at the blink of an eye.
What's
for
the
it.
enrollment at
We're right around 1,100, right around there.
do you find that at smaller schools, and Mike and Joe, you can also kick in, at smaller schools you have to wear more than one hat?
Absolutely. I think
And
we all have
all have
a ton of
multiple
hats.
Financial limitations.
Sure,
I mean, you
sure.
can't hire a person for every position, so you guys cover a lot of these positions.
Yeah, we
You
have.
do it very well over there.
Yeah,
Are there
we
any
take care of it.
plans at Goldey-Beacom to expand it in anything, in sports, in any way?
Once
Oh.
AD.
There's always conversations about trying to expand and look for new markets. Currently, we don't have any.
What do you have now, Chuck?
We offer 10 varsity sports and
That's
one
a lot.
club.
That's a lot.
And
we
the
have,
reason we have to have at least 8 to be eligible to be a Division II school.
I did not know that.
Okay.
You have to have 8.
Have to be.
have to be. So.
And how
we-
much does Division I school have to have?
Boy, I don't know. I just know that the Division II is
There's a
8.
question you don't know the answer to. Wow, a strike. So tell us what sports you have.
We offer men's and women's soccer, women's volleyball, women's tennis, men's and women's cross country, men's and women's basketball, softball, men's golf.
Cool, cool. That's enough.
It is. And how many athletes, Monica?
135.
It's good. About 10 to 15% of the student population.
Well, let's talk to Monica for a second. Monica is the athletic trainer, and Joe told me that before you came along, they had an in-house athletic trainer, and now the
Yes.
ATI.
We're outreach athletic trainers, so we provide, so we're contracted through ATI and we come out to the schools, and I'm there full-time at the school, and I provide all the athletic training services on campus, and then use ATI in partnership with them to help facilitate our student athletes to get them back on the field, along with.
How many schools does ATI do, Joe? Do you have any idea?
schools?
Yeah, schools and colleges.
30 plus in the
30.
Lower Valley.
We're in
I was
6
gonna say,
states.
moved into multiple states recently.
We're the largest employer of outreach athletic trainers
Is there
in the
any-
country, 150 of us.
Wow. Is there any schools that do not have an athletic trainer?
No.
Not that I know of.
You can't, there's no way in college sports. There's a couple.
Well, no, I'm talking about high school sports too.
Well, in high school sports, there's 2, okay? There's 2. But for the most part, that is not the case because the coaches don't want the responsibility of medical care, nor should they, unless they're a medical person. So
There's
if
a
the
few
coach
high
happens to be, also an athletic trainer or even an EMT, they're usually pretty good at that. So that, Walter, your question was about athletic trainers in colleges and in high schools. In colleges, we definitely need them because of the demands of the student athlete and the fact that they have flexible time, flexible hours. In the high schools, in the colleges, they also participate in the rehab setting, in the fitness setting, in the conditioning segment, where that isn't the case oftentimes in the high schools. In the high schools, they're there for injury recognition and shipping. In other words, they should ship them off to whatever. And then the pre-game, pre-practice requirements for evaluating sprains and strains and that type of thing, taping ankles and so forth. They still do that in college, but less so.
Monica's done a lot recently, actually, for Goldey-Beacom. They put her in charge of putting together the concussion program. She has also worked with me dealing with the new NCAA requirements of having blood drawn for sickle cell testing on all the athletes.
Really?
So there's been a lot that's come in the last year that has been thrown on the athletic trainer who is new to Goldey-Beacom through a contract, and she's done an excellent job. She also is my liaison in seeing the patients that are injured over there.
We have less than a minute left, but what I was going to ask Monica after we come back from break is what exactly an athletic trainer can do and what they can't do. And I know there's a bunch of things you can't do. And, in a litigious society that we live in, you can't breach that.
Now, I will offer to you that the athletic trainers probably are not, what they're responsible for is recognition and appropriate early treatment for whatever they see, whether it's a runny nose and sore throat or whether it's a sprained ankle or a bone sticking out through the skin. So it is not, you do not see very often in any setting them being the critical part of a lawsuit. They're also low on the totem pole when it comes to money's available, okay?
Well, that's good.
So there's something to that. So they may be named, but they carry malpractice insurance.
Really?
Absolutely they do, yep, absolutely.
So do we, because of me. And I'm proud of it. We got less than 10 seconds left. We're going to come back and we're talking about Goldey-Beacom. We're going to talk about what kind of school it is. It's an excellent school. It's known as a business school, but it's branched out. Is that correct, Joe?
It is.
And we're going to be back right after this.
I will keep dancing on point, even if it hurts.
My arm is killing me. I don't know if I can pitch another ball. But I'll just play through the pain anyway.
I have to do the big stunts. To look better than the other cheerleaders, where tosses are bigger.
My elbow really aches, but I got to keep practicing.
Don't tell them it hurts. They'll take you out of the game if you do. I have to push harder if I'm going to get a scholarship. I'm feeling dizzy, but I don't want to tell anyone.
Everyone's counting on me. I can't rest now.
Nearly 50% of all sports injuries sustained by middle and high school students are from overuse. Don't play through the pain. See your healthcare provider and follow their instructions for rest and recovery. Take the pledge. Become an advocate for sports safety. Visit StopSportsInjuries.org.
Go team!
Hi, we're back on Youth in Sports. We're talking to the biggies at Goldey-Beacom College, and one of the things that everybody knows is that Goldey-Beacom is a great business school, but Jen, it does something else too. It has other stuff.
Yeah, we have definitely more than just business. Last 3 years, 3 or 4 years, we've added criminal justice, we've added psychology, we've added English as majors, and sports management is also very big now, and also healthcare management, which has really taken off. And a lot of our, obviously, athletes are naturally drawn to the sports management, but we also have quite a few athletes that are involved in the healthcare management.
Well,
as well.
obviously you've been watching the show and you know what all these high school kids want to major in. And it's funny because we had a history major on the show one time, and we said that I think of the 5,000 or 6,000 guests we had from high school, 2 of them were going to be history majors. And I said, that's why we're in the crap that we're in, because nobody in the State Department knows about history.
Let's talk about, we also, a statistic when we were off camera was that you have 135 athletes, and you'll be having probably between 35 and 40 graduate this year?
Right around there, yeah.
All right, and with that though, why don't you brag on your guys' success rate on getting jobs for your athletes getting jobs coming out of school?
Our job placement rate is very high. We're at a 95% placement rate, which is...
Well, I had to go to college there right away.
But now there's a little bit, now that's has a job coming out of school or is going immediately to graduate school.
Right.
Okay, so we get to combine the perpetual learner. Right. Okay, but that at Goldey seems to be a lot less percentage, and I don't know this to be true, but I would bet maybe 15 to 20% of your people go on for an advanced degree right out of school. Is that fair?
Probably a little bit higher than that.
Really?
I would think, yeah.
That's a great statistic too. It shows the quality of your school.
Yeah.
Now,
I meant immediately. That would be in that 95%.
Right, yeah.
So do you offer a master's program, and do you offer a doctorate?
Masters.
Just masters?
Yes.
We offer a 5-year MBA.
Great.
Yeah.
So you can receive your master's within 5 years of starting. So
It
it's
really
very
is
popular.
a great.
And you have at least a dozen athletes that I know of that came in and took advantage of that. So they started out as freshmen, and 5 years later, they have their MBA.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really a great thing that we have.
You guys also have a lot of international students.
Really? I did not know that.
Like Wilmington, there's a lot of international students that play in their sports program and go to school at Goldey.
But they have a unique blend. They seem to have ins with South America and also in the Eastern Bloc, okay, Russia and those particular countries, like to come here to go to Goldey, okay? Wilmington University has theirs with the Africans and the Caribbean. They tend to have a little bit more. But one of the most fun things you can do at Goldey is they have International Day, where they have a cook-off, and the people bring in the foods from their native countries into the gym. I'll tell you what, that is some seriously good eating.
We were going to talk about some of the other things that Goldey offers, but 10 sports for men and women, and master's program, and it used to be a 2-year college years ago. It went to a 4-year, and it just keeps branching out. That's why I asked you, Chuck, is there anything in the forecast for what else you're doing?
I think we're always exploring new curriculum. Like Jen just said, we did expand from when I first started, we were solely business, and the college has been around for over 125 years. Last year was our 125th anniversary, and
that's a long time.
We had a nice celebration, and it was a very special day for the college.
Go one step further, though, Chuck. Make sure that Walter's aware that every kid has to take calculus. Every kid from Goldey-Beacom has to take calculus.
Our curriculum is...
Why?
I
found it useless.
And you're a doctor.
Oh, that wasn't where I was going with this. I was going with how difficult the curriculum, yet they still feel these good athletic teams, even though they have to take calculus.
Well, that's a good observation, because to take calculus, you do have to be above the average Yogi Bear. But to have a good athletic program also, which means you're fielding the student athlete, which is a little bit rare in some of the major schools.
We're really fortunate. Our student athletes perform at a very high level.
What's the lowest GPA that an athlete can have to play?
In Division II, it depends on what year you are. It could be as low as a 1.8 as a freshman, and it can go all the way up to a 2.0 by the time you're a senior. We have different requirements for earning credits and also GPA. NCAA minimum requirements would be 24 earned credits over the course of 2 semesters and a 2.0. Goldey-Beacom College, we have the GPA requirement of a 2.0 even if you are a freshman, and 30 earned credits throughout the year.
Okay.
Chuck, since we're here at Wilmington University, I want to know, what is the rivalry like between Goldey-Beacom and Wilmington U?
It's great. It's so much fun. No matter what sport it is, it's the biggest day of the year for us. You know, speaking on the basketball side, I remember my first game coaching against Wilmington University, and the place is just, it's mobbed. Everybody knows one another. You know, they play basketball against each other all summer long, and it's just a real special day, real fun day for us. And it's true in all our sports. You know, the rivalry is something that, it's a friendly rivalry, and it's gained momentum over the years, and you know, we're excited for another year of that rivalry.
Go ahead, make the announcement, Dr. Straight.
Well, this year we've decided, me and Dr. Rax have decided the First State Orthopedics is going to put something together for a competition, head-to-head competition between the teams at Goldey-Beacom and the teams at Wilmington University. Since we supply medical care and are the team physicians at both, we felt it was an opportune time to start encouraging a little competition between the schools. So you guys are both in the same conference. Chuck, tell us again, how many sports do you guys participate against each other in?
We participated against Wilmington University in 9 sports. Women's tennis is a sport that we offer that we don't compete against Wilmington University, but the other 9 sports we do. And you know, it's gone back and forth. You know, it goes in waves a little bit. When I first started, our soccer programs were one of the top in the conference. Our golf team has been historically one of the tops in the conference. Our women's and men's basketball team have gotten better throughout the years, and so you see cycles. And you know, right now we're seeing some of our strengths in our winter sports, some of our spring sports, and you know, we're seeing progression in our fall.
I definitely know your golf team's pretty good. I got to play with you in a charity golf tournament for ATI, and somehow you guys brought along a ringer. The golf coach over there, Mike Barrow, came over and played with us, and I think we shot 20 under. And I don't
20 under?
I don't remember using
Best
any
ball,
of my
sir.
shots.
Best ball.
Best ball.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking credit for
I think
that.
Dr. Straight's been a little modest. We used his ball, I think, twice that day.
That's better. But we had
How
a
do you
good time.
handle, now, the academics? I want to come back to that. Enough about Dr. Straight taking your money playing golf. By the way, has he invited you to the pool table?
He has not.
Oh, he can't play. No. You definitely want to take his bets, particularly the first 2 games. There's no doubt in my mind when I look at the conference that when you look at Division II schools, I would say 50% of our conference academics are way harder than other Division II schools. I mean, Walter, these kids get hammered pretty good, both, particularly at Goldey with the math and the business, and even though they have their health careers is a computer-oriented system, it's really a computer science geared toward health careers, okay? So they're taught how to run the new waves in hospitals and massive treatment of all the electronic medical records, but not how to do it, how to design it, okay? They're giving us the next generation of things. So these are our whiz kids that also have many of them are athletes, and instead of going to physical therapy school, or athletic training, which is the norm for a high school athlete who gets injured, they usually want to go into the medical field. And usually the first thing they look toward is athletic training. Then they realize that nights and weekends aren't real cool, and they don't get paid a lot of money, and they get minimum wage. So therefore, they move on and they say, well, I really want to be an orthopedic surgeon, and I say that's a great thing, but you're probably, unless your father's an orthopedic surgeon, going to be $250,000 in debt before you start. So are you ready for a mortgage? So then they make the circuit and they say, let's do health and be paid all the way.
Well, you know, Monica, let me ask you, you know, we were talking before about what can an athletic trainer do and what can an athletic trainer do?
According to the state of Delaware, we're allowed to
And
prognose.
excuse me, is that different from New Jersey?
Yes, we are licensed in our state under the
Right.
state medical board. And Delaware's physical therapy board is we're licensed under. But every state has a different license and different regulations and how.
And why is that?
But we're nationally certified. We have a national
So you
board
have
of
a national
So we
board
have a
and then
board
you
of
have a state.
certification that we take when we get out of college, and then you're licensed in each of your states that you work in. And then depending on how the practice laws are in each of those states.
That's the same thing with horse racing. Same exact thing. Stupid.
So, so each state has different practice laws that we can work under. Delaware, we can prognose, not diagnose anything.
Walter doesn't understand what you just said.
I do.
All right,
So we
okay,
can-
you do.
So we can suggest a
Treatment.
No.
We can say that this is a possibility of what could be wrong with you. We can't make an official say this is you tore your ACL.
Okay, so that's
Okay,
okay, but the prognosis is they can say you're ready to go back. In other words, they're allowed to advance an athlete with a diagnosis, with a sprained ankle. They do not have to return to the physician for the physician to say you can play.
Well, what about concussion, which is the big now disease?
Open the can of worms.
Well, you know, let's do it here. I mean,
No, it's been open, and I'm tired of talking about concussions.
no, I'm just saying, can she?
No, she can't. It has to be, she can advance, there are 6 phases of concussions that we talked about ad nauseum. She can advance them through those phases, and then they have to go back, and one time from the time where they were concussed, before they go back to unrestricted play, they must have a physician see them. Now, the physician can see them visit on level 2 and say you're clean if you get to this, or they can see them at level 5 and say you can resume unrestricted activity.
Well, you know, you say ad nauseum that we're discussing concussions, but the fact is it's complicated. Like just like Matt, the quarterback for what's his name? He's not coming back.
Oh,
They
the
don't think
Chiefs.
he's coming back. He might come back. Now that's a little silly because
No, it's
either
not
he's got one or he doesn't have one.
No, it's not silly, because what happens is, as we talked about it, if heat's a problem, the symptoms for concussion aren't that much different than if you have a blood sugar problem, a heat problem, or you just didn't get enough sleep. We're going to go to a break and come back right after this.
What does opportunity mean to you? At Wilmington University, it means providing a personalized educational experience where students learn anywhere at any time. Wilmington University provides a variety of ways to complete your degree. Choose the flexibility of online learning, or attend classes during the day, in the evening, or on weekends at locations throughout the region. It's your degree. Choose how you earn it. Personalized education, affordable tuition. That's the difference at Wilmington University. What does opportunity mean to you? At Wilmington University, it means finding an innovative degree program that fits your goals and prepares you for a successful career. It means finding a school that fits your life. We know the importance of providing individual attention, affordable tuition, and unparalleled flexibility in service. Because at Wilmington University, it's not about meeting your expectations, it's about exceeding them. Personalized education, affordable tuition, that's the difference at Wilmington University.
Hi, we're back on Youth in Sports. We're talking to Goldey-Beacom, which is an excellent school, and we found out today that not only is it used to be a 2-year business school, now it's a 4-year school. It offers a master's program, 10 varsity sports. Great school. We have the athletic director, the men's basketball coach. We have the athletic trainer, and we've got the women's basketball coach and the compliance officer, and the senior women's advisor.
And you're only looking at
And we
three
only look
people.
at 3 people, right. Which is great, which is great. But I'll tell you what, you know, if if I was going to get involved in the business of college, one of the great things is to train where you have more than one hat so that you can decide, hey, what do I like better? What am I better at? And go, move on to a bigger school with a better paycheck. Not that this is not a great pay, but you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's a great...
No, they're a lot like Monica. They're, for the services they provide, they're underpaid.
Oh, sure. I'm not saying you're not. What I'm saying is Monica knows.
And you're not allowed to ask if they're thinking about moving on. That's not allowed. That's not allowed.
I'm not.
Let's find out what else happens at Goldey-Beacom. Any other programs you guys have that you involve the community, things like that?
We run summer camps throughout the entire summer for women's basketball, boys basketball, girls and boys basketball, and also volleyball. Over the years, our camps, my first year when we started, we had, I think, 15, 20 boys at camp, and this past year we had 4 weeks, and all 4 weeks sold out at over 100 campers. So,
that's great.
It's been exploding. Jen's done a terrific job with her camps. They were, filled to the max, and the same with our volleyball.
What ages?
It varies per sport. Jen, your ages are?
Like 7 to 14, 7 to 15, right around there.
All female?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So they're ages 7 to 15?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We have, it's 9 to 3, Monday through Thursday. And my girls do an outstanding job. My team members are obviously counselors. They do an outstanding job of working with the players, working with the campers, and having a good time with them and enjoying.
Is there one particular player that they want to get to be with the most?
All of them, really, but I'll say Jacinda Jones, just because she's been around a very long time. And
She's such a personality.
She is.
The first time she puts the ball between her legs, the little 7-year-old goes,
yeah, exactly. Since the first time she shoots a 3, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So, my girls, they enjoy getting down to that level and acting like a 7, 8, and 9-year-old. So it's perfect for them.
And your camp is a lot of the young people that have aspirations that want to play basketball in high school, but probably aren't sure they're going to play at college.
Right.
And their parents are also trying to determine whether it's going to be worth the investment for them to go on, and how realistic is it that they're going to play at the next level, because they see all the other kids in that age group. And
right.
Of course, I'm sure that's fun. Do you, at the end of your camp, do you evaluate the kids and tell them what they need to practice on, or do you meet with the parents and say what their basketball appetite's like?
The men's program, they do evaluations. The girls' camp, we pretty much, the older, more experienced girls that we know have kind of come through the camp, and they're at their last couple years or last couple sessions that we're able to have them at camp. We obviously all talk to them about what they're planning on doing, how they can get better, what they need to work on, and I have plenty of emails and plenty of phone calls from parents just asking how their
all right, so
done.
the tough question, Coach. So how many of these young people that have been at your camp have eventually played for you?
I haven't been here long enough for that.
So whether she's in compliance.
Always.
You know what I was going to ask you? We talked about Wilmington University's new athletic complex. Where do your teams play?
We play right off of Limestone Road on our campus, our main campus.
Okay.
Toward the back of the campus in the Joseph West Jones Center.
And the basketball teams both play your indoor gym, which holds how many?
1,300.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
okay.
If you want to see it, they also have their convocation center and their main form of I take my hat off to the architect. Do you know who that was that designed that area? He took a really difficult piece of ground, and they made it into something that is so multi-purpose that instead of having track around the top, they have offices around the top that the people can actually look down into the gym.
Oh, cool.
Which is, instead, you come in at road level, and the
they
gym...
got that in Delaware, too.
A little bit, yeah, you go down, but that's the idea, that they actually go down into the ground, but it's who has a nicer facility now? I mean, obviously, one use new facilities, nice, but in the conference, who do you think has the nicest facilities?
I think we're one of the top in the conference. There's been a couple new facilities that were built over the past couple of years. Philadelphia University, they just built a new facility that's very nice, and University of Sciences in Philadelphia also has a very nice facility.
Mike asked a good question of high school kids, and one of the things he asked, he says, after you're in business or whatever you're doing and you're successful, if would you make a donation to your school? And which I thought was a good question because, you know, you're talking about Swayze Adam and Archmere, and you're talking about Concord and Brandywine. Do you get donations from former students?
We rely heavily on the support of all our former student athletes. You know, it's always nice to have alumni games where our student athletes, former student athletes, graduates come back to the college, and we have alumni games for volleyball, men's and women's soccer, women's and men's basketball. It's a chance to re-engage our student athletes that have gone on to their career. So we bring them back, and part of that is, you know, we do ask for support. We have it as part of our website where there's online giving, but, you know, we definitely appreciate any type of financial support that we can get from our...
And you do get it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Let me just take a chance to make another one of those points, Walter. So suppose you're a student athlete and you go into graduate school, you just had your job, you just got a job. When your school asks you for money, you're really giving more than the $10 or $25 that you think is too little to give. It's not too little, because many of the organizations that also donate to schools look for percentage of giving. So it isn't the amount. The amount is usually a matching amount, and we'll talk about a big giver, and if you have anybody you want to shout out to Chuck. But it's important, even if it's only $10, that they can put you on the roll and say that you've given $10. And they don't even have to say that you've given $10, that you've given. They're looking for that proportionment, okay? So I didn't understand that when I was getting those letters. In fact, it was annoying in medical school when I was paying tuition and asking someone asking me for money. If I'd have known that, Walter, it never would have made me upset that I was really given more than just that amount.
Well, the trouble with giving, and I've always been a giver, but the trouble with giving is they put you on a list, they sell the list to get money, and one of the things, if I was somebody that was asking for money, like a university or whatever, or a school, I would make a big notation that this is a private donation, we are not selling your list even though we need money and they pay for it, and I think that's a big deal, because then you get all the stuff. And it just gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
Plus the phone calls.
Who's your big giver? Who can we thank? Anybody that you can bring off the top of your mind?
You know, we just, Millennium Insurance, actually ATI, are a sponsor of our website. So we just had those. We have a couple other ones in the works. We've had some very generous families of current student athletes and former student athletes. So
that's what I was
don't
going
want to
ask.
miss anybody. I got you.
Well, I was going to ask, how much do the student athletes give back?
Like Dr. X said, any amount would be greatly appreciated.
We were asking, what is that proportion?
A percentage of the athletes that
could give, do give.
You know, I don't really know that stat. You know, we're fortunate that a large amount do give back to the college.
Let me tell you, 10% is a heck of a good number.
Yep.
Really?
Big number.
Yeah.
I was going to ask something, I swear to God, being 66 is a bugger. It just goes right over your head when you forget. Oh, I know what I was going to ask. What about at Wilmington here, you see a lot of older people coming back to school, either getting their masters or,
doctorates.
Deciding they want to...
change careers.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. I knew you were going.
He fixes my words.
I do. Sometimes.
Do you have that?
Yes, we do. We have
give an age group that, like, I asked them here at Wilmington, I said, what's the oldest student athlete you had? And it was, I think, 30 that played. And I didn't realize what you could play. Like, I could come back and play, something.
2 semesters. You get 2.
He's got 2.
There you go. But what do you do as far as that? How many older people do you have at the school? Is there a preponderance
we
of
have a
them?
very high number of commuter students. So.
And can you do night courses
Yep,
and all?
we have
like
night classes. We also have Saturday courses as well.
I think that's the thing you should publicize, because you got a lot of people sitting there going, where am I going to go to? I want to go. Spanish is a great thing to take, especially if you're in the horse business.
We do have a high percentage of older older students that come back and either want to get their master's degree or just want to change careers. And we're
Right.
starting to get things going, and we do a great job, especially with computer-based
Exactly.
everything. We don't
Changes every day.
Yeah,
every
we don't
time.
do online, but people trying to learn.
Can you do it online?
No, we do not have online
Okay,
courses,
'cause-
but people are just trying to learn the new generation of computers and those kind of things and software, and I think that we have that at Goldie, and people take advantage of that, especially older students who do want to change their careers and try to move forward.
Joe's busting out. What
Well, I was just thinking, talking about old, I'm 36 years old, and I'm thinking about going back and getting an MBA. While working over there, I figured I can take night courses. I'm not a student athlete. I don't have any of that.
Well, you played football.
Well, our
you
golf
could-
team
yeah,
is
You could switch out and play soccer. What's the oldest? What is the oldest athlete you have playing?
I want to say probably 27, maybe 28, right around there. That might be high. I'm gonna probably about
Well,
27.
that's not.
Right around there.
24,
After
25.
when you see my age, you say,
Regular
that's
birthday.
young. Yeah, that's really young. Young whippersnapper. So it looks like you got an excellent school. You said you had like 1,100 in enrollment. What's Wilmington University have? I forget.
12, 14,000.
Yeah.
12.
That doesn't sound fair. Does that sound fair, Mike?
No, but if you look at, they are the smallest school in the conference by a lot.
And they
Probably.
still hold their own.
They
which is a
hold their
good-
own.
That's due to the recruiting.
Right.
Chuck has been doing a great job recruiting. Jen has been doing a great job recruiting. I think that you guys, there was some kind of thing that just happened recently with the recruiting over at Goldey-Beacom.
Yeah, this past week we were named one of the top 100 Division II schools in the country.
Wow.
One of only 4 teams in our schools in our conference to be named this, and it's based off of academic achievement. Our student-athlete GPA is over 3.0. Athletic achievement.
3.0.
Wow.
Athletic
And
achievement.
that's for a full.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
running.
That's all 10
Yeah.
sports.
That's not
All
just
together.
one. That's not just one semester.
No,
That's all of our
great.
student athletes, and so we're very proud of that. Our athletic achievements, and also where the college ranks in USA Today in their college rank. So it's a proportion of all 3 of those put together, and we fell in the top 100, which was a very
And
significant accomplishment.
what you
for
said,
us.
Chuck, is that 50% of your students go on, or your athletes, students go on to master's programs? Or jobs, or
No, 95% either have jobs
Or go to master's.
or go on to an advanced degree in education,
Yes.
whatever that might
All
be.
right, we're ready to wrap this segment. What is this, our third
It
segment?
is
right?
our third segment. It's talking about Goldey-Beacom College and how it's a great place to go. And if you're from Pike Creek area, you can even live home without a problem. Does that make you a St. Mark's bedroom school?
I know they never make me play with these guys, but why do they make me train like them?
Training hard is important, and for professional athletes, it's their job. But kids aren't professionals and shouldn't train at that level. Keep kids safe on the playing field and out of the operating room. Become an advocate for sports safety. Visit StopSportsInjuries.org.
Hi, we're back on our last segment. Time flies when you're having fun with Goldey-Beacom College and
The Lightning. Of
the Lightning, right?
The Lightning.
And we're talking to the athletic director and men's basketball coach, the women's basketball coach, compliance officer, and women's advisor, and also the athletic trainer, and also a coach on
Not a
Not.
coach.
No coach?
No coach.
Okay.
Just an athletic trainer for ATI.
There you go. There you go. Joe?
There has been a few changes going on over Goldey-Beacom. The first thing is their logo changed. That was the most recent change. I did hear some talks about a possible change in some fields around the area. Is there anything going on?
You know, we're exploring some options with our soccer facility. We had some drainage issues, so we're working on
Which
those.
have been there since you put up the gym.
Yeah, you know, anybody who's been to our campus knows our soccer field, all the water just kind of drains down, and so we're working on that, and you know, we're looking forward to fixing that and having a great place
Since
for them to play.
Regional Bakers no longer has a golf course, isn't any of that ground available? I mean, you would think in its proximity that might be an area to look at.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. We've heard that there's going to be some construction on there, some homes.
Where do your golfers play, Chuck?
Right now we're playing at Deerfield. We also have hosted events at Hartfeld. This coming week we're going to host a 5-team tournament at Deerfield.
Yeah, nice
course.
Yeah,
nice
it's
course.
really nice.
Yep. Yep.
So how does administration of Goldey-Beacom support you guys as the athletic director, assistant athletic director?
We're really fortunate. We fall under student affairs. Our dean of students, Bernadette Wimberly, she's extremely supportive of athletics. She's the one who brought athletics back to the college. You know, along with our president, Dr. Elias, they had a vision of adding some more to the student life on campus. From that, you know, it started off with a couple teams, and now it's progressed to 10 teams. And the administration has been great. You know, the staff has grown, and through new partnerships with ATI, and you know, having your services coming to campus, it's been great. You know, we feel very fortunate that we can provide our student athletes with everything they need, from academic support, academic training, compliance. When we are talking about recruiting, you know, one great thing is Jen's an educator for so many students that are in high school that are looking to try to play college athletics, to know what they need to do to get ready for college athletics, the NCAA requirements, the NCAA eligibility center. And the administration is completely behind balance and the academic athletic balance.
We did a show earlier, and we talked about the sports management program here at Wilmington University. I know you guys said you have a sports management program, but are either of you sports management majors?
I was actually a communications major, but I always knew that I wanted to coach basketball. So that was, you know, playing college and coaching college, and that's kind of where I was swayed to.
How many students are you graduating in sports management each year? Do you know?
I think last year was our first year for graduating it, right? As being a new major, from being a new major. I'm not sure. I want to say probably
Less than 20.
No, I thought. Probably, well, you taught it.
Yeah,
I was actually a professor for it.
Professor in the program, and you know, it's right around 30.
30, okay.
Yeah,
Let me ask you a question. If you had no sports at Goldey-Beacom, well, how would that affect your enrollment?
I think it would affect it a great deal. I think that
You do?
You know, initially, you know, obviously we're looking at it through athletic administrators, and I know that, you know, we provide, you know, a ton of students have got great opportunity to continue their education, which is a very nice thing. And, you know, I think athletics in general is such a big part of everyone's lives, even if they're not directly an athlete, that it provides students with entertainment, it provides students with competitiveness that they might not get because they're not in the requirement of being an athlete, but still at the same point they're still showing that competitive edge, and I think that provides to any college or any university or any group that's out there. So I
Well,
think that
you take a Division II school like your school, and you take a smaller school like your school, and then you take a big school where, you know, the football coach makes more than the dean. Now, it doesn't get out of proportion. Like in Europe and Asia, sports are club sports, not associated with the college, but not in the college.
Right.
What do you think about that?
Good.
You know, sometimes you hear these staggering figures of coaches' salaries and how they're making maybe more than a college president. And,
well, they are.
Athletics is a huge business, and
it is a business. It is a business. They say that college football is the minor league of pro football, but the athletes don't get paid.
Yeah. Walter, don't you think though that the question was how much would your giving to the school be reduced if you didn't have sports? And is there a disproportionate, that has been proven to be the case, that if you take away sports, people stop giving to the schools?
In larger sports.
No, even Swarthmore and some of the other places, when they dropped football, they noticed that there was a setback for 2 to 3 years.
And then it went
back up, and the cost of having a team was certainly within 2 years made up for the monies that were spent money wasn't being given because the people were upset, but then they got over it. And I think that's really what it's kind of like parking at UD.
Well, I'm just playing devil's advocate here because it costs a lot of money to field teams, especially a football team. And
what's your most expensive team to field, Chuck?
It would be our soccer teams, men's and women's soccer.
Really?
Yes.
The soccer team?
Because of the number of athletes. Remember, they have 25. They travel with 25.
Travel is probably the base expense.
Yeah. Travel, scholarships in Division II, we're able to give athletic scholarships. So,
well, talk about that. In Division II, what's the scholarship that you're allowed? What are the scholarships that you're allowed to give?
In Division II, you're allowed to give a full athletic scholarship will cover tuition, room and board, books, and so every sport has an equivalency, a set number of scholarships.
Like how many can you give in basketball?
We're able to give 10.
10?
Yes.
Okay.
How about you, Jen?
And you give parts, right?
So 10 as well for
10 as well.
basketball.
There's no way that you're going to find in today's world that men's and women's basketball aren't going to be equal.
No. Well, why not? Why not?
Why not?
Are
all your men's and women's sports equal?
Title IX, brother.
Soccer equal?
In their groups, right?
Yeah, you tier sports from the NCAA recommendations that, in NCAA Division II, where basketball, we could have 10 full scholarships. In soccer, you're only able to have 9.9, which, you have a larger squad size in a sport like soccer. So it's proportioned from the NCAA, and we just follow the NCAA guidelines.
You guys, when you're playing in conference, both men's and women's teams play the same school that day, correct?
For the most part, for basketball especially.
I'm talking about for basketball.
For our doubleheaders, we travel together.
That saves money.
It does, but more. How do you do in your preseason games? You guys, obviously, you don't both play the same preseason schedule.
No, I don't think we play the same independent schedule at all this year. Every once in a while, we'll be able to pair something up, but we kind of, with both teams' success over the last couple of years, we kind of have tiered off and trying to get more regional games for both of us, and it may not be the same teams for both that are at the highest level that we're trying to compete against. So that's where we're.
How many fans? How many fans show up?
We get a decent amount. I'm very happy with it.
Before we talk about that, Jen this preseason is actually playing an exhibition game against University of Maryland. So our women's basketball team will be playing University of Maryland
I was
in a
just
game.
going to ask, is there any big games?
Men's basketball, we have Towson University and Dell State in exhibitions. So, we try during the preseason to play some Division I schools also.
It's
well,
exciting.
I might have missed something, but you get 10 scholarships for men's basketball. Is that correct?
That's what the NCAA allows you to have. That's not
okay, you don't have to give them.
That's not what we do.
No, they don't have to pay. The school doesn't have to give you the money for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're allowed, but not given.
What about you, Jen? How many scholarships does the women basketball?
Same thing.
So both sexes get equal?
Yes.
Correct.
Is that in Division I too?
Yes.
Yes.
That's in basketball.
Title IX and.
Yeah.
Well, wait. What can a women's team going against a football team?
Football is so much of an outlier. That's where the issue arises, and
Because
it would be. Well, you can give a lot more than that. They can give 69 and I think 89. I think 90. But I don't think that football should be included in that one-to-one head-on stuff. I think they should subtract out football and make all the other sports equal, and treat football differently and decide how to do it. But it's too big an excuse to stop programs because you have football. Okay.
Right.
If you eliminated football, we'd eliminate half the excuses.
Right. Okay. I can go with that.
But that's what I feel. All right, we're coming to a close. So, thoughts that you have, what would you like to change in the relationship at Goldey with ATI right now, Monica? What could we do better?
Nothing. I'm really happy with the relationship that I
I knew
have.
the answer to that, by the way.
We were all hoping for the same answer.
No, I'm thoroughly enjoying the partnership between ATI and
First college?
Second college.
Second college you've taken care of.
So, yeah.
Okay.
What's your first one?
I had a small stint up at University of Washington with men and women's running.
Wow, all the way out there?
I'm from out west. So,
That's right, Arizona.
Yes. I wouldn't change anything. I really enjoy it. I think it's a great partnership between, especially First State, Goldey-Beacom, ATI. I like the way it works. The continuity of care is great for our student athletes. And
if they had 250 athletes, would it still have the same? How far do you think that partnership can go? What size does it become?
Yeah, what do you do then? What do you do then if
they go back to the old system, which right now I am absolutely sure, and I do not know this to be the fact, but this is a very cost-effective way to conduct athletic training services, to do it from, if you can find the right group like ATI to come in and take care of your school, you're winning.
Great.
That's a good question, though. When would it become counterproductive?
When would it become counterproductive?
Or would you have to have another one?
I think it would be probably when you need 3 trainers. I think when you need to go to 3,
it would be
because of grounds
appropriate
and other
coverage
things.
is what it would come down to. How you would limit and how you had to spend your time traveling, because we travel a lot on the road, and that would be how we cover at-home events and away events and practices.
So tell everybody out there that wants to be an athletic trainer the hours that you have to put in.
The hours that I put in
less than a minute.
Oh man, the hours that I put in, I average anywhere between 50 and 65 hours a week during the fall season. It tapers a lot off, so you
and
put a lot
of
weekends.
Right?
I work lots of weekends. I work lots of evenings. I see more of my home in the day and never at night.
And the winter it gets less, and spring gets left, and your summer all you do is camps.
I don't do camps either.
Right.
I'm out.
What's the percentage of, and Chuck, you can answer that, what's the percentage of men and women athletic trainers in ATI?
There's probably a predominantly,
I would say more females.
Really?
I'd
Oh,
say
by a
probably
lot.
A lot more females than more men.
There you go.
Say about 70%, 30%?
Absolutely.
I would. I would concur, yeah.
I
It's in our meetings,
was
yeah.
surprised at that.
Okay, when's your summer camp, Jen?
Summer camps are usually June and July.
On your
First
website,
week
which
of
is
July.
July. Chuck, when's your summer camp?
Same thing, June and July.
And
June and
what's your
July.
website?
gbcathletics.com.
Okay.
gbcathletics.com. If you want your kid to have a good experience in summer, 9 to 3, both of you?
9 to
3. Drop them off, pick them up, go do your errands. They'll get a great day. They get to meet all the young athletes, and they'll come home better athletes than they were before.
And if you're looking to improve yourself, there's a way to go back to school, get your master's. Good night.
What does opportunity mean to you? At Wilmington University, it means finding your relevance in the job market. That's why we offer career-oriented degree programs that meet employment needs in emerging fields. Dedicated professors bring their real-world experience into the classroom so you'll graduate with the tools you need to succeed on the job. It's your degree. Make it relevant to your career. Personalized education, affordable tuition, that's the difference at Wilmington University.
This show was sponsored by ATI, the company taking physical therapy to a higher level throughout the country. First State Orthopedics, where Youth in Sports hosts Drs. Straight and Axe are members of the team taking care of Delaware with a commitment to excellence. And President Jack Barcelona and his Wilmington University College of Technology, where each semester this student-run program is produced, directed, edited, and distributed under the guidance of the TV production faculty. Each guest receives a copy of the show, and all shows are available on the web at youthinsports.com.